A very good evening and a warm welcome to our first edition of UBC News Tonight on this 23rd day of January 2026. I'm Laurny Masika Kazimoto together with my colleague Muhammad Mugalu on sign language interpretation. Let's start off with the top stories tonight. In our top stories, former Education Minister Geraldine Bitamazire laid to rest in Butambala. All right, in our top story this evening, Uganda is set to commemorate a major milestone marking 40 years since the National Resistance Movement took over power. The Minister for Presidency, Babidi Babalanda, says the celebrations are expected to be a grand affair, bringing together citizens, government officials and other stakeholders to reflect on the country's progress and look forward towards the future. Over 30 people are expected to be awarded with different medals as appreciation for their unmatched service to the country.
26th January 2026 will mark 4 decades since the National Resistance Army, that later became the National Resistance Movement, began its journey to transform the country.
I think this is a fundamental change in the politics of our country.
The NRM's 4 decades in power have seen significant achievements in security, socio-economic transformation, education and healthcare.
When the NRM took power, it embarked on the rehabilitation of the economy and adopted the policies of liberalization and reformation of the public institutions. As a result, the revenue collection capacity has improved. It was recently ranked 7th by the International Monetary Fund, that is IMF, among the fastest growing 9 economies in the world.
President Museveni's re-election for the 7th term will also be highlighted.
This year's celebrations will be unique because they are happening at the time when candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has just been voted into office of the president for his 5th term with a resounding win of 71%.
The Minister for Presidency, Babidi Babalanda, contends that as NRM, corruption is one of the dents as regards to governance.
Actually, we don't have failures. What we have is challenges. Challenges like corruption, but we are managing it with the courts of law and the IGG and other offices concerned to fight corruption accordingly.
The 40th anniversary of the National Resistance Army Liberation Day, to be hosted at Kolo Independence Ceremonial Grounds, will bring together citizens, government officials and stakeholders to reflect on progress and look towards the future.
Uganda's transformation journey is unstoppable, and the massive gains so far attained can only be consolidated for the great good of Ugandans. Happy 40th NRA Victory Day anniversary celebrations to all Ugandans.
Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Thank you, Dorcas Kimono. The election of a new Lord Mayor in Kampala Capital City Authority has raised expectations among city dwellers and the business community, with many hoping for improved enforcement of laws and better management of the city's long-standing challenges.
The Lord Mayor is tasked with overseeing the political arm of the Kampala Capital City Authority, including supervising the implementation of policies by the technical team led by the Executive Director. As the new administration takes shape, attention is turning to how effectively city laws will be enforced and whether governance gaps that have affected service delivery will finally be addressed. From the business community's perspective, traders and operators say the state of infrastructure remains a major concern. Business owners point to poor drainage systems, traffic congestion, and poor garbage collection.
So business
Transport operators have also weighed in, calling on the elected Lord Mayor to prioritize the rehabilitation of damaged roads, restore order in taxi parks, and regulate operations of boda riders.
Boda zale mu kubeera organized. Saba kusiba kulembeze, siba boda benyini. So ziryanirule buli wamu wosanga boda wezini. Ja kwesanga nti lane namba mu Kampala. Lane bagitanga bagipakinze mu buko. Atuteeketeke bulungi, okuteekateeka n'okutegekera byawukana.
A change in the city's Lord Mayor is a test to the authority for a smart, livable, and resilient city.
Namatumba District recently delivered one of the most stunning political outcomes of the elections, with not a single NRM flag bearer making it to Parliament. Across all constituencies, independents swept the vote, following growing claims of fraud and mismanagement during party primaries. Tonight, we unpack how internal party disputes turned into a district-wide voter revolt.
What started as isolated complaints quickly became a full-blown political protest. In Namatumba District, voters rejected every officially declared NRM flag bearer, handing victory to independents across all constituencies. We are not for NRM. At the center of the storm was Buikwe County, where Persis Princess Namganza was controversially denied the NRM flag, a decision her supporters described as fraudulent.
Maganda Emmanuel Katoko, who had won, still won with 20,512, defeating Namuganza Persis hands down.
Many believed her political career was finished. It was not. Namuganza ran as an independent and won. But Buikwe was only part of the story. In the district's woman MP race, independent Nakisita Betty defeated incumbent Mariam Naigaga, who critics say fraudulently acquired the NRM flag. In Busiki County, independent Joel Waiswa Azalwa defeated Paul Akamba, the party flag bearer, while in Busiki North, Kayogera Yona followed the same path, defeating the NRM candidate, Isiko Mpongo. One by one, all NRM flag bearers fell, leaving the ruling party without a single MP from Namatumba. Party members had raised concerns earlier, accusing the NRM Electoral Commission of imposing candidates and sidelining grassroots choice. The matter reached national attention during President Yoweri Museveni's campaign in Namatumba. The NRM district vice chairperson accused Dr. Tanga Odoi of declaring flag bearers from outside the district.
Kampala. Yakobati baidabu balanga abiri na lulala ogw'omusanvu. Abiri n'olulala lwali lukali kutuuka nga balangirire ba flag bearers. Ekigendererwa kya Tanga Odoi kyali kyaki.
Soon after, party leadership softened its stance on independence, acknowledging Namatumba as a special case.
We are encouraging the independents to reconsider their stand. But in the worst case scenario, if they proceed and go through election, all of them are indicating that they will be signing MOU with the party.
For Namganza, the victory came after years of political seclusion and even an attempted assassination.
Kira Road Police Station responded very fast.
Armed with faith, resilience and grassroots mobilization, she campaigned without a party machine, village to village. On election day, voters delivered a clear message. Namatumba was not voting against individuals, but against a process they no longer trusted.
We raised those issues with those people, and there is nothing they didn't know. They knew very well whatever happened in Namatumba, but they refused to address them.
Now questions linger. Will the NRM reform its primary elections to avoid another Namatumba scenario? And what lessons does this revolt hold for the ruling party going forward? Henry Okrut, UBC.
Erasto Chibirango has won and been declared new Luweero District Chairperson. This followed the local council elections that took place on Thursday across the country. The elections in Luweero registered low voter turnout at many polling stations around the district.
Voting for the LC5 chairperson and councillors in Luweero district was marked by low voter turnout, with many voters reportedly arriving late to cast their ballots.
Sinzira ku mbeera ebaddewo kiragira ddala kijja kifaananyi ekyakalulu akawedde ba MP abasimbatu bangi kibalonze nga bannakuwavu.
Not any inconveniences at the station. The elections have gone mostly well and free and fair. The agents for each candidate is contented and content in what is going on.
Honorable Kabuye Chofatogabye confirmed the low participation, noting it was below the expectations.
The turn-up is not like the other turn-up. The other turn-up was just massive, awesome and everything. Today the turn-up is a bit miserable. But one thing I've noted that people come and vote. It takes a maximum of 2 minutes for anyone to come and vote, and then they go. I think one of the factors that the other day, 15th, was a public holiday, so people were at home.
In my view, since it is not a public holiday, majority of the people are employed. They have their people are employing them. So unless the government makes it compulsory, and there is another way how some people can be reprimanded for not voting.
Quite a number of people came from different areas because they had registered here. But after elections, definitely they had to go to their places of work. So yeah, we think this time round they did not show up because they are already assigned, they are already at their places of work.
4 candidates in Luweero vie for the LC5 chairperson position, including Sebaiga Vincent Kalumba, who is independent, Erasto Chibirango, who is NOP, Birungi Rashida NRM, Sebofu Lawrence, FDC. As well, voters did not show up at the tally center to demand for the vote, as witnessed with the Sekabira Dennis account on 15th January 2025. Reports from the Electoral Commission reveal that Erasto Chibirango is victor for the LC5 chairperson position in Luweero District. I'm Benon Mokwaya.
NRM flag bearers in the 9 districts of Karamoja have won elections in all the district chairpersons' elections. However, some leaders want local council elections to be conducted fast to reduce on the low voter turnout.
The National Resistance Movement Party has swept the entire 9 districts for the position of chairperson and local councillors across Karamoja sub-region. 34-year-old Angelo Pulkol, who has been serving as Roptuk sub-county district councillor in Moroto district, is the newly elected Moroto district chairperson.
Declare Pulkol Angelo.
Pulkol, who was the NRM flag bearer, won with 11,085 votes, defeating 3 others, including incumbent district chairperson David Kolyang, who emerged third with 3,755 votes. Pulkol
to be appreciated to the entire community of Moroto, the people of Rupa, Kapash, Notisan, Katike, South Division and North Division, Nadunga Town Council and Nadunga Sub-County, for decisively taking their decisions upon electing their leader. All have to do is first of all to harmonize, to bring all people of different camps together for purposes of unity.
Paul says the Electoral Commission should reconsider conducting local council elections first to reduce low voter turnout.
I always think, why can't this kind of elections be turned upside down? You know, once the elections of members of parliament is done, people whose candidates have lost tend to lose more.
Benon Kwikiriza, Moroto District RDC, said the elections were free, fair and peaceful.
We did not register any cases of violence. There were no complaints, and we want to thank the people of Moroto and God for having made us come. It is on the same note that I want to encourage the people of Moroto and Uganda entirely to come out on the 27th when we shall be voting for the municipal mayors and their councillors.
NRM flag bearer and incumbent chairperson for Abim district, Ariko John the West, won with 14,268 votes. The others include Albert Riotangroli, who won Kabong district chairperson seat. Amdach district NRM flag bearer Boatum William Roland emerged winner. NRM flag bearer and incumbent chairperson Paul Komoloti retained his seat in Kotido, while NRM's Benedict Lokilu won Navidatuk district chairperson position. Simon Peter Lokilu won Nakapiripiti district chairperson seat, defeating 3 others, including incumbent John Nangil.
The NRM flag bearer for Tepeth County in Moroto District, Michael Wilson Lokawao, wants results nullified, citing irregularities like voter bribery and vote rigging during the elections. Lokawao had initially lost to the independent candidate Albert Lokoru during primaries.
We have to go ahead with this petition.
In the parliamentary elections conducted on 15th January 2026
Independent and incumbent Member of Parliament for Tepeth County, Albert Luweero, was declared winner with 4,246 votes, while NRM flag bearer Michael Wilson Lokawa emerged second with 2,368 votes. Lokawa, together with his campaign team, have come out to contest the results, citing election irregularities like voter bribery and vote rigging during the elections.
That were declared or announced by Moroto Regional Electoral Commission officer were wrong. It is not correct. There was a lot of rigging. There was a lot of voter bribery. The surface right money turned to become for campaigning instead of paying the people. There was a lot of intimidation.
DRA forms are not the DRA forms that were issued from the polling station. Some of our people were beaten and chased away from the polling station, put on gunpoint and sent away from the polling station. So largely our people never signed even the declaration forms these people are talking about.
Did you submit those queries in the during the Tare Center?
Yes, we have raised these complaints, but we're not getting justice.
Bribery. Like people, if to voting, were given even a lot of alcohol. By the time the person is coming, they just tell the person comes and says, I want Lotte, I want the bus. They say, who tells you there is a bus? This is the chair. The security that was supposed to protect the flag bearer never did their job. They were compromised.
Lokawa wants results nullified, saying they were not free and fair.
Those results should be nullified, especially Tapach sub-county, the upper part of the mountain. That's where there was a lot of rigging, a lot of staffing.
Lokawa promised not to give up until he regains his victory.
The body
Local leaders in the Teso sub-region say the government's planned resumption of a livestock restocking program could help heal communities scarred by the decades of conflict and economic collapse. But they warn that continued political support for the National Resistance Movement Party will depend on whether President Yoweri Museveni's pledge is fulfilled. We have the details.
For generations, cattle defined survival and status for the Teso people, paying school fees, fueling trade, and sustaining local industries.
We had meat packers in Soroti. This was in recognition of the fact that Teso economy survived on cattle keeping.
That way of life collapsed during years of insurgency, when raids wiped out herds and dismantled meat processing businesses. Local leaders now believe restocking could restore both livelihoods and identity.
The program which is now being commenced, because LOCs have already captured the beneficiaries, that program is going to highly uplift the economy of the people of Teso.
Speaking to UBC, Member of Parliament-elect for Kanyumu County Simon Peter Opolot emphasized that cattle are not just economic assets, but emotional ones.
If right now you give a man in Teso 5 million, I can assure you, one of the first things he will purchase will be livestock. So that's what I'm sure. I don't doubt it. Because they know livestock is their bank where they keep their money.
He described the program as something that would touch the heart of the community, reconnecting families to traditions passed down through generations.
If President Museveni fulfills that, which I'm sure he's going to fulfill, the people of Teso will continue voting him into power until he says, I don't want anymore. They will vote him and vote him and vote him because this is what they want. Cattle with the Teso, with the Teso.
President Museveni first announced the plan during his campaign tour, but implementation was halted for elections.
The president, in his wisdom, halted this program until elections are over, so that under sober circumstances, we begin to pick the beneficiaries, the first beneficiaries of the restocking program. So these are not just promises, these are already programs which have already started.
State Minister for Northern Uganda, Dr. Kenneth Omona, says the first phase will target vulnerable households, with each receiving support worth up to 5 million shillings.
Cabinet has resolved that every household in Teso, Acholi and Karamoja, Acholi, Lango and Teso, are going to be given 5 cows. Every household will be given 5 cows. Cabinet also resolved that the average cost per animal will be 1 million. So meaning every household is going to be given 5 million shillings.
Oku Joseph, UBC.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but return with more stories after these messages.
Welcome home to entertainment, to Wi-Fi everywhere, to high-speed internet, to security, to first-class support. To convenience. Welcome home to MTN Wakanet, superior internet for every home. Visit www.mtn.co.ug/Wakanet. Welcome home. Together, we are unstoppable.
Kabogozi, where are you coming from?
From NSSF.
NSSF? You traveled all the way from Namatumba to get NSSF services. Lekanawe. You walk on the era. NSSF is now everywhere. Come on, I show you.
Yakabande pakabanda. You can register for NSSF. How come you pretend you see my life? Now deep down in the Marara. Make NSSF payments. No wahala okubekarangala. NSSF sure is not far. But tomorrow kuhika gochido. Enjoy NSSF from where you are.
Access NSSF services right where you live. With over 20,000 quick teller agents across Uganda, now you can conveniently register yourself, make NSSF payments and contributions to your Smart Life account, Luweero. NSSF, a better life.
The Ministry of Works and Transport, in collaboration with the Uganda Police Force, is rolling out the mandatory motor vehicle inspection services as one of the interventions to improve road safety, protect the environment, and safeguard the health and well-being of the public. The key items for inspection are the braking system, suspension system, the lighting system, the exhaust emissions, and the general mechanical conditions of the vehicles, among others. The exercise has commenced for all government vehicles, public service vehicles PSVs, operating on fixed routes with route charts, private omnibuses PMOs, tourist vehicles, and those as may be referred by the Uganda Police Force in a dangerous mechanical condition. Other categories including private vehicles, light omnibuses, taxis, trucks and motorcycles will begin on a date to be communicated by the Minister of Works and Transport. The vehicle inspection centers are Kawanda on Bombo Road and Namamve on Jinja Road for motorcycles, light and heavy vehicles, Nabingo on Masaka Road and Namulanda on Entebbe Road for motorcycles and light vehicles. Mbale, Gulu and Barra inspection centers are for all categories of vehicles. The inspection fees have been significantly reduced to ensure compliance. Get your vehicles ready for inspection. Safer vehicles, safer road users, safer journeys. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Works and Transport.
This is our home, our land, our Uganda. From the rolling hills to the busy streets, from the farmers in the fields to the students in classrooms, we are one people. Elections are a time to choose our leaders, not to fight our brothers and sisters. When violence enters the ballot box, the future of our country is wounded. But when peace leads the way, our nation grows stronger. On election day, choose unity over diversion, respect over hatred, and dialogue over distraction. Love your country, protect your fellow citizens, stand for peace, and say no to electoral violence. This message is brought to you by the Global Election Observation Mission, GEOM, in partnership with the Uganda Electoral Commission. Informed citizens, strong nation.
Unisteel Investment Uganda Limited, shaping the future of steel in East Africa and beyond. With an investment of over $100 million and a production capacity of 300,000 metric tons per annum, Unisteel is setting new standards in steel manufacturing. At our state-of-art facility, we produce TMX rebars, branded Unis TMX 500 CWR, and high-quality wire rods using only imported virgin steel billets. Every batch is tested and tracked for unmatched quality assurance. Our steel powers the region's most ambitious projects, from dams, skyscrapers, to bridges and beyond. Unisteel, superior quality, trustworthy choice.
Welcome back from that break and into business. The Central Corridor Transport Facilitation Agency and the Northern Corridor Transit and Transport Coordination Authority have signed a landmark memorandum of understanding aimed at strengthening multimodal connectivity, promoting green economic development corridors, advancing digitalization, enhancing trade facilitation, and integrating regional infrastructure. Once viewed as rival trade routes, one anchored at the port of Dar es Salaam and the other at the port of Mombasa, the two corridors are now charting a new course, and their leadership has pledged to complement rather than compete in a move designed to benefit regional economies and the people they serve.
The Central Corridor Transit Transport Facilitation Agency and the Northern Corridor Transit and Transport Coordination Authority have formalized the cooperation framework intended to deepen coordination between Africa's two most critical transport corridors. The memorandum was signed at the headquarters of the Northern Corridor in Kenya's coastal city of Mombasa by Advocate Florio Kanju, Executive Secretary of the Central Corridor, and Dr. John Deng Diadeng, Executive Secretary of the Northern Corridor.
Of specific interest is the inland water transportation. You all know that we share Lake Victoria with a number of ports around it, and so it is in the interest of the region that the mass mobility of goods and services is actually transferred toward the lake, because not only does it decongest our roads, it also protects our environment.
Navigation, aids, chart, and so on. We cannot develop such projects, those projects, if we don't have this framework, because Tanzania is a member, is not a member of the Northern Corridor, and Kenya is not a member of the Central Corridor.
The agreement follows Dr. Diadeng's visit to the Central Corridor Secretariat in September last year, where the two chief executives held discussions on strengthening regional development and logistics coordination. With 4 shared member states, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Burundi, and Uganda, the partnership is widely seen as a new dawn for regional trade and logistics. It is expected to improve efficiency, lower the cost of trade, and accelerate regional integration and sustainable economic growth.
The area of cooperation, as simple as I say, my brother, we have non-tariff barriers, which will facilitate the trade. We have infrastructure, transport infrastructure, roadside station, dry port, railway. Why not railway?
The collaboration aligns with key continental and global practices, including the African Continental Free Trade Area, the African Union's Agenda 2063, and the Sustainable Development Goals 2030. It reinforces the role of corridor cooperation in lowering logistics costs, reducing emissions, and strengthening regional value chains.
Other areas are specific. There could be one of which, like the removal of non-tariff barriers, which is something that emanates from the interaction between the trade. And so we have agreed in principle that we have to join a common frontier in addressing these issues that affect trade.
Following the signing of the MOU, focus now shifts to implementation, translating this commitment into practical, results-driven outcomes for governments, the private sector, and corridor users.
NRM candidates who went through in the just concluded elections in Buikwe District have applauded voters for turning up in big numbers and voting for President Yoweri Museveni and the NRM candidates at different levels. They, however, asked voters to also turn up in big numbers for the remaining elections at the different levels, as it was with the President and members of Parliament.
He, however, expressed concern over some figures in Buikwe District who failed his victory, citing divisions among party members.
Thank you for the support. We traversed the constituency together. We moved door to door. We moved person to person. We campaigned, and that is what was declared, though we are still consulting with the party lawyers to guide us on the next course of action. I want to believe, and I assert it, that in Buikwe, as NRM would have performed better, but because we have had the internal conflicts within the party, so we've continued that way with that internal division.
Isaac Sozi, who was the National Resistance Movement flag bearer for the Member of Parliament seat in Buikwe District, Lugazi Municipality, has appreciated the people of Lugazi for the support towards the National Resistance Movement candidates, including the President, that saw him win the presidency. Sozi, who lost in the just concluded parliamentary elections, however, encouraged voters not to lose hope, but to participate in the remaining elections at different levels.
I'm aware most of you are tired. I've heard rumors, and I've heard some of you, not rumors actually. I've heard some of you saying, like you are tired of voting because I lost. No, we still have other local government positions. I want to appeal to all of you that we come together as a party, we go and support and vote our remaining flag bearers. There are still higher chances of all of them to win. Let's not get tired. We can still make it.
UBC TV reached the woman member of parliament elect for Buikwe District, Diana Mutasingwa, and he had this to say over the allegations.
I'm hearing so many things in the district, but as a candidate, as an NRM candidate who was the NRM flag bearer, whatever I'm hearing on the ground is new to my ears. I also don't know what is happening. So whatever is being said, I am not part of it. I don't know anything about it. So we need to be focused on the development and the service delivery that we are going to bring, and that I'm going to bring as a leader in this second term.
Diana Mutasingwa also applauded the people of Buikwe District for turning up in big numbers on the polling day and promised them improved service delivery.
To thank the people of Buikwe for voting for me, for entrusting me, for giving me a vote of confidence by voting for me. I want to thank you for being there for me throughout this campaign trail and keeping their promise and voting for me. We are going to make sure that whatever we have done in the last term, we'll continue to do more in the next term. Issues of land issues, issues of roads, issues of water, issues of schools, electricity. These issues are going to be addressed in the next term. We're going to make sure that most of the things that have not been done in the first term, the next term, 50% of these things will be done. So I want to extend my gratitude to the people of Buikwe for voting me and for coming out, for voting development, for voting leaders that are going to be able to be there for them. I want to assure you that this term will be a term of Hakuna Mchezo. We are going to work together as a team to make sure that development is brought in Buikwe and our people can be able to be, that service delivery will be able to reach the last person down in the village.
In the just concluded woman member of parliament elections, National Resistance Movement is Diana Mutasingwa won the elections with 57,547 votes. Nabatanzi Farid of Noop came in the second position with 53,461 votes. Namwanga Lukia of FDC with 1,444 votes. Nankabirwa Harriet Independent with 1,464 votes. And Nantanda Madina, also an independent, scored 382 votes. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansuga, UBC News.
Drama ensued at the Wakiso District Tally Center as the Electoral Commission returning officer for Wakiso District, Tolbert Musinguzi, was declaring NRM's Ian Cheune as the duly elected LC5 chairperson of Wakiso District. Amid tight security, moments after the returning officer picked up the microphone to declare the winner, Noops Nasif Naja jumped up and grabbed the microphone, facing off with security operatives.
The candidates who contested for Wakiso District LC5 chairperson seat include Flavian Nakafel of Democratic Front, Engineer Ian Cheune of the National Resistance Movement, and Nasifun Najja of the National Unity Platform. Wakiso District, which has over 1.4 million registered voters, conducted elections across 27 sub-counties. By early afternoon, results from only 12 sub-counties had reached the Wakiso District Tally Center, according to the returning officer, Tolbert Musinguzi. The race remained tight between NRM's Ian Cheune and NUPO's Nasifun Najja as both candidates waited for final results from the remaining 15 sub-counties. At around 3:30 p.m., the Wakiso District returning officer Tolbert Musinguzi called forward NRM's Ian Cheune to declare him the winner. As Ian Cheune stepped forward to be declared winner, NUPO's Nasif Naja immediately jumped and grabbed the microphone from the returning officer, preventing him from making the declaration. Nasifun Naja insisted he was the rightful winner, but his protest was in vain as security operatives intervened to restore order. Upon continued insistence to be declared winner, Nasifun Naja was forcefully dragged out of the tally room, although security operatives initially faced resistance.
I'm ready to declare that he has called Ian Cheune. Declare him, yes, I won the election. Sure. I've lost enough. You have to kill me. I'm not coming out.
Upon continued insistence to be declared winner, Nasifun Naja was forcefully dragged out of the tally room, although security operatives initially faced resistance.
Who do you think I'll do? I'm an honorable member, but I'm behaving like a hooligan because you're not mature enough to do what you want to do. No, my friend. No. No.
After order had been restored, National Resistance Movement's Ian Cheune was officially declared winner with 177,710 votes. NUPO's Nasifun Naja came in the second position with 99,234 votes, while Flavian Nakafel of Democratic Front came in the third position with 10,597 votes.
Accordingly, as a returning officer for Wakiso Electoral District, and in accordance with Section 147 of Government Act, I declare Cheune Ian Sengozi
After being declared winner, a jubilant Ian Cheune outlined some of the priorities he intends to address in Wakiso District.
People are still suffering from a lot of anxiety. They are lacking quite a lot of things, and they think okulabanga district eno yeyongeramu abagagga beyongera okuyingiramu bawa abaana baffe emirimu abantu baleme okkayanira ekintu kyatalinaako bwannannyini. Olabye enkayana ezibeerawo akantu katono oli n'akaayana nnyo kubanga talina ssuubi kyalina ky'anaakola ekirala.
Ian Cheune promised to focus on job creation for the youth and raise the profile of Wakiso District during his tenure.
Naye ekintu ekikulu kye tulabye emirimu. Twagala okuteekawo senta y'emirimu. Abavubuka bano beetaaga emirimu ate n'abazadde balumwa nnyo ng'abaana baabwe basomye nga tebafunye mirimu. So ekigendererwa kyaffe tugenda kuteekawo job center nga gwe alina omwana ng'amaze okusoma muleete mu job center. Bw'amala okwewandiisa wanaabangawo omulimu gwonna tujjanga baweereza message nga tuyita mu job center. Ate n'oyo akola emirimu egy'embavu naye asobola okujja neyewandiisa bwe wabaawo ayagala abantu ab'okusima emifulejje okukola nga bapoota ku site n'ebirala nabo bajja kufuna.
He later joined his supporters who were gathered outside the Tare Center celebrating his victory. Deborah Namamonde, Tanaba Kenneth, UBC News.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't go low.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Special announcement. The NRM Secretariat wishes to sincerely appreciate all Ugandans for re-electing President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and majority of NRM parliamentary flag bearers in the recent concluded elections to lead the country for the next 5 years. As we continue to celebrate the attained victory, the NRM Secretariat also wishes to remind all Ugandans and the general public that elections for the district chairpersons, Kampala Lord Mayor, mayors and councillors will take place on Thursday, the 22nd of January 2026, while voting for the municipality, city division chairpersons and councillors will be held on the 27th of January 2026 across the country. Let us stand up and vote to assert our choices as we protect our gains. Long live President Museveni, long live NRM. This message is brought to you by the NRM Secretariat.
And into the world of sports, National Council of Sports has given non-adherent sports federations and associations up to June this year to fulfill all requirements or be de-gazetted. This was during a news conference at Cooper Chimney in Lugogo, addressed by the General Secretary, Dr. Bernard Patrick Ogwell.
On 17th August 2023, President Yoweri Museveni assented to the National Sports Act Cap 151. By that time, National Council of Sports recognized 51 national sports associations and federations. In line with Section 81, subsection 5 of the Act, these were required to apply for registration for purposes of compliance with the new legal framework. Of these, only 45 submitted applications for registration and were put in the Uganda Gazette, with members of the public invited to lodge objections. Uganda Frisbee Association, Uganda Floorball Federation, Uganda Deaf Sports Federation, Association of Uganda University Sports, Uganda Rollball Association, and Uganda Bodybuilding and Fitness Association didn't submit applications for registration.
National Council of Sport shall follow the due legal process as prescribed by law to resolve the status of those 6 non-compliant entities independently.
National Council of Sports received 8 objections in respect of the applications. These were from Uganda Boxing Federation, Uganda Table Tennis Association, Cricket Uganda, Uganda Darts Association, Uganda Drafts Federation, Uganda Lacrosse Association, Uganda Rowing Federation, and VX Uganda.
The 8 applications against which objections were lodged and additional information availed were received, reviewed, and assessed after National Council of Sports had duly determined the objections. Indeed, National Council of Sports has duly concluded this exercise, and the parties dissatisfied with the decision of NCS have a right to appeal to the Minister of State for Education and Sports, in charge of sports, in accordance with the Act and regulations. In a nutshell, we have already written to them the objections following the dissatisfaction of the applicants, and the matter can now only be referred to the Honorable Minister. So the 8 are exceptions in this regard, that they cannot be registered unless they have addressed the issues raised in the objections, which to us has been found valid.
Amidst all this, National Council of Sports carried out a preliminary desk review as well as due diligence around the country in 115 districts to establish the nationwide spread. The review revealed gaps that had to be filled, but only 42 of the 45 federations responded, with the Scrabble Association of Uganda, VX Uganda, and Uganda Handball Association non-responsive. During the registration exercise, National Council of Sports encountered challenges like widespread non-compliance, limited institutional capacity, delayed and incomplete submissions, and governance and internal disputes. Ultimately, National Council of Sports prepared 37 final registration reports, with non-compliant organizations granted a remedial compliance period of 5 months to satisfy the outstanding statutory requirements.
Failure to attain full compliance within the stipulated period shall result in 1. Automatic rejection of the application for registration, and 2. Revocation of the organization certificate of recognition in accordance with the Act and regulations.
This ongoing transition is a critical legal and institutional reform intended to strengthen governance, accountability, transparency, and national character within Uganda's sports sector.
And with that, our first edition has come to an end, but let's take a look at the top stories this evening. Over 30 to be decorated at NRM's 40th Liberation Anniversary celebrations. Kampala residents lay out their expectations of the new Lord Mayor. Shutout in Namatumba as independents win all MP races. And NCS gives non-compliant federations 5 months to adhere or else face penalties. I'm Laurny Masika Kazimoto together with my colleague Mohammed Mugalu, who will see you at 10.
Assalamu alaikum. Huzaiha Janamiol is my name, heading office of the national chairman. On behalf of all the Bazukulu of this nation, we take this opportunity to thank the Almighty Allah for availing us with another chance to see through our well-being. by enabling our President, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, go through. We congratulate you, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the grandfather of this nation, for the win